In this video, take a look at creating the orthographic drawing for the spacer. This part is in millimeters, and we have to make a change when converting from millimeters to inches here in the drawing as well. The template that I provided was in inches. The change is very simple to make, and once you make the change, it carries on throughout the entire drawing. But every time that we create a drawing in millimeters, you will have to make this change because the template is based in inches. We are going to keep the ASME formatting, but we are going to put in metric measurements. In the title block, we will be putting ISO, which stands for International Standards Organization, instead of ANSI as we did for inches. So by having the part open, we can create a drawing from the design. We're going to use your template, and we're going to hit OK. In terms of laying out the views, nothing changes. We're still setting the scale, and in this case we're using a scale of 2 to 3. We're putting in the parent view as the front view. We're projecting the top, the right side, and the isometric, which we are then scaling down the isometric and turning it to a solid. So right now my scale size is 1 to 2. We're going to go with a scale of 2 to 3, setting this parent or front view in the lower left hand corner, and hidden lines are on. Parent view's in. I'm going to project off the parent view, top, right side, and isometric. The isometric view, we're going to edit. We're going to scale it down and turn it into a solid. I'm just going to work on my view placement spacing. Spacing in between the views are equal. Distance from the title block is equal. Left to right, top to bottom. As you go to put dimensions in, you will find that your dimensions are still in inches. No problem. Document settings. If you go under units, you will then be able to change from inches to millimeters. Being that metric drawings rarely have decimals, in this case we don't have any decimals. We're going to turn the decimal placement off altogether. And another checkbox here, we don't want to show trailing zeros, which shouldn't happen in this case, but there will come a time where we have to put a decimal in, at least one, for a metric drawing, and then it adds a 0 every time. So this should just be a good habit to get into. So even though this says inches, once I hit OK, it will update to millimeters. From this point forward, we are just putting in dimensions, linear dimensions, and all of them have been converted over to millimeters. This one is not fitting in between the arrowheads, so we'll adjust that. Same with that one. We should get a couple more of these 15 millimeter measurements that don't want to fit in between the arrowheads. Here, breaking the dimensioning rule of using an object line or bringing it through an object line holds true. All we have left to dimension is this notch that is cut out here in the top. And I have 2 dimensions that can complete that. So we want the dimensions in between the arrowheads. This should easily fit in between the arrowheads or the extension lines. And this is a manual change and takes place pretty easily. The only change in the title block, yes, other than typing in the part name and setting the scale, is for the units. We are going to put in a unit designation of ISO in all capital letters. Eventually. We use the scale of 2 to 3 for the top, front, and right side view. Your paper size is already set. Today that we're doing this is the 21st. Your name's already here, and we're going to set the part name that this is the spacer. Done editing the title block. One last check on my view placement and spacing. And I have created a drawing in millimeters. Overall length, width, and height. All dimensions needed to construct or inspect the part. I am breaking one dimensioning rule that I am dimensioning in this case using extension line as an object line. If I move it over, an extension line going through an object line, it's a better option than dimensioning to this hidden line.